The manager market and manager transfers are a brand new feature in FC26 career mode, and today we're going to test it and push it to its absolute limits. We're going to track to see what managers get the sack, what crazy manager transfers and swaps are going to happen, and who ends up where in 1 year, 5 years, even 10 years time. How is the manager market going to transform and evolve whilst we simulate through the seasons and watch the manager merry-go-round unfold? For this video, of course, we've got to turn the manager market on. That's tick number one. And we want our deeper simulation expansion turned on, where we can select up to 14 leagues to track and simulate over the course of this experiment, which is just an essential. It's a must-have mod. And this video is just the perfect use case scenario for it. And another mod that we're using, if you couldn't tell already, I've got the RJW real manager name squad file loaded, which pretty much just replaces all the generic managers in the game and gives them their real names. For example, we're going to see Frank Lampard at Coventry City, Roberto De Zerbi at Marseille, and another classic example is Javier Mascherano at Inter Miami. So we're not going to see a bunch of generic caretaker managers involved. We're going to see real names and real managers in the mix. This mod also includes all the international managers in the game, so that's an added bonus. However, I don't think international managers change jobs. I'm still yet to see that take place, so hopefully that is a feature and we get a little bit more depth in the managerial market, because I want to see international managers going back to club football and vice versa. Look what they've done to my boy Poch, man. They've got his game face in the game, yet they've just assigned him one of the generic managers from FIFA 18. And if you want access to both those free mods, the link is down in the description to my free FC26 mod list, where I'll be updating it with the freshest mods on the market. So give it a go and try them out for yourselves. And for me personally, I'm going to be Carl Robertson at Salford City, just watching all the action unfold from the 4th tier. I want to stay out of it and not affect the simulation whatsoever. So if you go on to enjoy today's video, drop it a like for me down below, hit subscribe and turn on the notifications if you want to keep up to date with the channel and all the content we've got coming at you. Let's see how truly broken this new feature is, or is it going to work as intended? How crazy and hectic will the manager market get in this save? We've obviously got the watch list and the suggestions they're going to give me, but we're not going to focus on that. I just want to monitor every single league and see what's going on, see who's getting fired, see what managers move where, because we have got a whole bunch of leagues and competitions. As of right now, everything's in place. Everyone's got their job, for now at least. However, the clock is ticking. Let's simulate to around December, January time. That's usually a hot spot for when managers are going to get the boot. Who is going to get the boot first? And who do you think the next manager is going to be to get fired? Is it going to be 007 Big Ange at Nottingham Forest, or even Jose at Benfica? Crazy things have happened in real life, so let's see what happens here in FC26. Alright, we've hit the new year, just the start of January, and the manager market right now is saying that there are 7 available jobs. So technically, I mean, there should be 7 manager sackings. Things are looking pretty normal over in the Premier League. Maybe you got to take a look at the manager transfers, and here is where we're going to see the changes take place. And right now there are no real major transfers to report on, just a bunch of lower league German managers, some Australian managers moving. If you can notice now, the managers actually get put into the free agency, which is cool, but I wish you could actually go into a section where you could see all the free agent managers. I wish they added that into the game, but for now, everyone has survived in all the top 5 major leagues. Let's see how long that's going to last for, and if that is the case at the end of the season. Now we're at the end of the 25/26 campaign, so let's take a look. Yeah, still a lot of low-level movings going on, so no major sackings in season 1, and it looks like this second half of the season manager transfers actually happened in the space of a couple days. Like you can see, the start of February, or February 4th, all the way to February 6th was the last manager transfer to happen. So there must be like a specific date where all the clubs just get together and decide on if they're going to keep their managers or not. I hope that's not a real thing. I want to see a little bit more variation and like randomness in the manager transfers, not just like, yeah, this specific week all the clubs decide whether or not they're going to sack or hire a new manager. But let's keep the wheels rolling and hope for a little bit more action come season 2. FC26 has just dropped, and the start of the game grinds can be brutal sometimes. Whether it's unlocking rewards, completing the season pass, chasing coins, or just trying to level up your team faster, not everyone can spend 10 hours a day on the game just to stay on top of it all. That's where today's sponsor, SkyCoach, comes in clutch. It's a platform with pro players that can help you achieve your in-game goals quickly. Treat yourself to as many cheap, fast, and reliable FC26 coins as you need, because they offer premium account boosting and coaching so that you can actually enjoy the game without feeling like you're ticking off a checklist. And not just FC, but they offer a wide range of other games too. Trusted by over 150,000 gamers worldwide, it's super easy and safe to set up. Plus, you even get an instant refund if your order isn't fulfilled. Whether you want to sharpen your skills or skip the grinds, SkyCoach is the way to go. And your boys got you covered. Click the link in the description and use promo code BCHD at checkout for 10% off your order. And now, let's get back to the video. Now, we've simulated to summer transfer deadline day in Season 2. Let's see if the manager transfers have gotten kick-started yet. We've got a few Serie B managers getting fired, like Giovanni Stroppa and Vivarini at Pescara. Have they hired anyone to replace them? This is all still some of last season's transfers, so no, we've only seen like a handful being done after February. So now we're in the second half of the year. Things are starting to kick off, but yeah, the manager movements, the transfers are happening like all on the same day, which I'm finding quite suspicious. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to work. Looks like most jobs are safe besides the Borussia Dortmund job. Niko Kovac insecure. We've got Massimiliano Allegri insecure at Milan. There are a lot of insecure and very insecure major jobs, but no board has pulled the trigger. Yeah, and it looks like at Pescara and Venezia, you've got the caretaker managers, which are just like random generated generic managers taking over the helm instead of the clubs actually going out and finding a manager on the free agency or poaching from another club. Let's move on over to the winter transfer market to see if the manager merry-go-round wheels are going to start spinning anytime soon. We've hit January again, and we've got a flurry of transfers to report on. We've got Ignazio Abate, the former AC Milan right back, moving from Juve Stabia to Grimsby Town in League 2. A big career switch up, a big move for him. However, it looks like if I scroll all the way down, the date stops at the 23rd of December, where we see Patrick Vieira get fired, or not really fired, he's just been poached by a Chinese Super League club. He just decided to leave and jump ship mid-season. Clearly, the game has deleted some manager transfers, because there would have been more before this, but that's the lowest it goes, so we're going to have to do some digging. Alright, now in the Premier League, everyone, and I mean everyone, has kept their job. That is a rare sight. David Moyes got Everton relegated to the Championship. His job is very insecure, but they are still reluctant to fire him. I mean, come on. Maybe they're just showing loyalty to the club legend, but that is a bold choice, as Scotty Parker has been sacked from Burnley, as now there's a random caretaker manager there. Frank Lampard's still at Coventry City. Niko Kovac is still managing to stay a hold of his job despite it being very insecure. Vincent Kompany is safe at Bayern. And in Serie A, there's usually manager sackings every single season without fail. However, this has been the most stable. Oh no, we've got Kevin Muscat at Genoa. That is the one thing we needed to check in on. He has replaced Patrick Vieira, and the Aussie has taken over in the north of Italy. And whilst we keep simulating through and analyzing the manager market, let me know down in the comments below, what is the craziest manager transfer you've seen in FC26 so far? My one's definitely got to be this, which we caught on live. Hold on. Xabi Alonso got fired from Real Madrid, and then they've gone out and signed Mikel Arteta. Saliba off to Real Madrid. Mikel Arteta poached by Real Madrid. That halfway during the season too. That is shame. We've got Brendan Rodgers back to Leicester. Little reunion there, but Xabi Alonso, the first big manager getting sacked. We've got Francesco Farioli from Porto to Celtic. Diego Simeone. Unai Emery off to Bologna. Look at these. Wow, a lot of high-profile transfers. Oh, you can see that they get announced in the social media too. That's cool. Nevertheless, the manager transfer market is still going on in the background, where we had Robin van Persie. He's been sacked. I don't know who he was managing. Was it Feyenoord? A legend of football has been completely thrown out by his hometown club, and he is now hired by Atlanta United in the MLS. There's a lot of MLS movement going on in this first screen. As we continue down the list here, there seems to be a burst that happens in like a day or two, and then everything goes silent for a while. We had Mark Sinner at Manchester United, who I believe is the women's coach. He is now completely been sacked from the women's job and has headed off to Australia with Perth Glory. As Spurs has got Lumturi Shehuhu, I don't even know, but Thomas Frank has been fired from the Spurs job. Like I said, not all the manager transfers are going to show up. Jose Mourinho's back at Chelsea. What? Oh my days, I'm trying to process this all. Yeah, the manager transfer market isn't going to show you everything. Big Ange has been sacked from Nottingham Forest. Now we're starting to see a bit of movement here, people. The manager merry-go-round has started, and oh my days, it has kicked off as Daniel Farke has left Leeds United, being replaced by a caretaker, I believe, in Carl Lutz. Oh my days, we have some juicy things to look into now. Like I said, it would have been perfect to see like a manager free agent list, just so we could tell who is, fired from their job, who is looking for a job. But now we're going to go to Portugal here with Benfica, where Enzo Maresca has replaced Jose, and I think they just did a cheeky little manager swap there. Have we ever seen a manager swap deal happen in football? Because I think we've just seen one. Imagine the scenes. Big old Enzo Maresca doing a trade deal with Jose, but the special one is back at Stamford Bridge. And now things are starting to get interesting. Things are starting to heat up. Bologna sacking Vincenzo Italiano, bringing in a caretaker manager, Sergio Lobera. Ooh, Cesc Fabregas has been booted from the Como job. They've entrusted Marko Nikolic, which could potentially again be a caretaker, which is likely the case. Yeah, Feyenoord replaced RVP at the helm with Viljo Lakoken. He could just be another no-name, but there are some big-name managers that we need to keep an eye on and see if they're going to get rehired anytime soon. But Scott Parker has been rehired by Burnley. Yeah, it's quite annoying how that manager transfer list just isn't unlimited like the player transfer list is. Like, I want to see all the manager transfers that are happening in the season, like I can see with the player transfers. So again, another element of this manager market that's let us down. You can't see free agent managers. You can't see every single manager transfer in the season. So yeah, EA need to fix it and get onto it ASAP. All right, now here's your end of season wrap up. Let's take a look and see if any other major moves have happened here. We've got Ruben Amorim fired from Manchester United. He has found a job at Barcelona because, yeah, Barca gave Hansi Flick the sack. Does that mean he's moving to Manchester United? We're going to have to wait and see. But things have exploded into life here at the back end of the season as we've got Igor Tudor given the boot from Juventus. He hasn't lasted at the Allianz Stadium hot seat, as we've got Frank Schmidt, who I believe is an interim manager, caretaker manager. The random German has been given the keys to the kingdom over at Old Trafford. But Ruben Amorim has not seen the light of day. The 5 at the back formation system didn't work. And oh my God. Oh my days. Just as I was complaining, saying nothing was happening, Pep Guardiola fired, sacked, resigned from Man City. I don't know what happened, but Juventus found their replacement. They've replaced a bold man with an even bolder man, and Pep is now managing in Italy. What a sight to behold as we continue to take a look at this Season 2 wrap-up. Massimiliano Allegri sacked from Milan and is no longer managing at the San Siro. We've got Keith Andrews. He hasn't survived at Brentford. And Carlos Tevez has found a new job at Independiente in Argentina. Oh my days. That was just what? In the last month or so. So May is like a huge deciding factor. All these manager transfers happen in May from the 17th of May up until what? The start of June. So there must be a big decision day. Holy smokes. Okay. We've got a lot to dig into here. Has Ruben Amorim taken the 5 at the back to Barca? I know it's his like only first day on the job or whatever, but he's got to stand on business. He's got to bring his system and mentality, and no, he's sticking with a 4-3-3. I wonder if we simulate along into next season if that's still going to be the case for the Catalans. But now with Ruben Amorim at the helm, I don't think this 4-3-3 holding is going to last too much longer. I'm sure Pep is going to implement his system at Juventus, and it looks like he already has with the 4-3-3 rocking. They're no longer with the 3 at the back formation, so Pep has gotten started straight away. Brentford have decided to sign a no-name woman, Naima Koundé manager from Morocco with no Premier League experience. She's just a random caretaker. I'm not sure how long they're going to stick with that decision, but yeah, it's very random, not very realistic. Just wow, the manager market has absolutely sprung into life. And now we're going to see some interesting things go on, like Florian Wirtz lift the Champions League for Liverpool. I knew FC 26 wasn't going to be realistic this year, and I'm really keen as to see what managers take over their tactics. Are they going to bring their formation and play style to the different clubs they join? And how quickly are those unemployed managers like Fabregas and Thomas Frank going to find new jobs, or are they just going to chill for the meantime? EA, man, come on, brother. We need new generic manager faces. These guys have been around since like FIFA 17. Seeing this picture, seeing this pop up in the news feed just hurts my head. And come on, like, when are they going to improve or just, you know, give us a new manager transfer cutscene? Like, come on, man. This exact transfer video has been the same since like FIFA 22. It's the same old repetitive thing, no matter who you sign for, no matter what manager you are. This is the exact same like 15-second cutscene that happens every single time. And it's been like 3 or 4 years, man. We're tired of it. EA, this stuff needs an overhaul. The manager market needs to be 10 times better in FC 27. Come on. We're at transfer deadline day in the summer of season 3. We have had some minor movement over the summer, but no major names. Keith Andrews has found a new club. The Irishman is going over to Korea to manage Gangwon FC. Maybe he's found his level. I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning behind like the managers are going to take their tactics over to their new club. Clearly he hasn't, or at least he hasn't taken the formation. He might have brought along like his tactical vision between all these, like standard and wing play, possession. Maybe they take their tactical vision but not their actual formation that they stick by. So that's another little oversight by EA. And Frank Schmidt has got Manchester United playing kick and rush football. Are you kidding me? This random German guy has come into a club famous for their chant attack, 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 and he's got their dominant tactic to be kick and rush. You know, you've got United playing park the bus. You've got United playing kick and rush, haram ball football. You've got women managers being hired in the Premier League. Yeah, just this manager market, it's rough around the edges, let's say. And I should have been checking this the entire time, but we're in season 3 and I finally remembered to take a look at the Manager of the Year award. And this time for 2027, it was Luis Enrique at PSG. He has kept a hold of his job. He stayed firm. He's remained at the helm over in the French capital. Doesn't look like he'll be hitting the manager market or the manager free agency anytime soon. And now that we are in the winter transfer market, let's take a look, a little halfway stage report at the manager transfers. And it looks like we have Christophe Gaultier sacked from Nyon FC and he's moved to Karabag. We've got Michel, who's no longer at Girona. He became a free agent and is moving to Austria. And Igor Tudor had to wait a couple months, but he's found a new club. Yeah, the Argentinian side Tigre, as opposed to the Mexican side Tigres. As we take a look at more manager transfers, Michel actually switched to 2 clubs. He was already fired from Girona, and then he's ended up in South America, become a free agent again, and now the man's in Austria. And Leonid Slutsky, the former Russian national team and Hull City manager, has been fired from Shanghai FC and is now a free agent. But we're still yet to see any major big sackings yet, as Jose's got Chelsea top at Christmas. Man City without Pep seem to still be doing fine in the title race. We've got Spurs sacking Thomas Frank and aiming for the top 4. Liverpool down in 6th with Arne Slot, and Manchester United playing kick and rush are about to get themselves relegated if they're not careful with this random German caretaker. David Moyes is rock bottom again. Pep Guardiola and Juve struggling. He is sitting in 4th, 4 points off top, and Milan without Allegri is in a title race right now. There is some crazy things going on. We've got Como and Napoli struggling just in the top half of the table, and for some reason I can't check in on Spain. It might be this mod with the deeper simulated leagues to not see Spain, even though I selected it with the deeper simulation. So maybe I picked too many leagues to track. Ruben Amorim has got Barcelona up into 5th in the Champions League stages. I know it's only halfway through the season, but again, I'm just proving that I can't really check in on La Liga. That is the only league we're missing right here. And neither on the manager market can I check in on Spain either. So again, it's probably a glitch on my end, just to let you know, but we can only see the 2nd tier in Spain, which is a little bit annoying. Other than that, I can't can't directly see who's managing Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid right now, but if those managers were to get fired, I'm sure they would have popped up in the, manager transfer section. We wouldn't have missed that. Oh no, Diego Simeone, he's actually resigning at the end of the season, so managers actually can't retire. You're not going to see like Pep disappear from your career mode save 10 years down the line. He's still going to be there till the very last season. However, managers can just straight up, resign and leave the club that they are at. So we'll be seeing the Argentine move either to the free agency or to a brand new club. We've reached the end of the campaign here in 27/28 with Arsenal winning the league against Man City without Pep. They took him to the last day, but it looks like Arteta's not losing his job at the Emirates anytime soon. We've got Chelsea finishing in the top 4, Aston Villa in 4th. So they've secured Champions League football. As we scroll on down, Liverpool and Spurs just managing to clutch into the top 10. Meanwhile, Manchester United down in 14th. I mean, they got a game to go, but it's not really going to matter. Everton just survived the drop with David Moyes. Yeah, just to get a grasp on how things are looking in world football right now. PSG are still winning League A. We've got Dortmund winning the Bundesliga. Bayern down in 3rd with 69 points. Has Vincent Kompany gotten the boot? Has Pep Guardiola won his first Serie A title? No, he can't do it in Italy and loses out to Milan without Allegri. So yeah, 3 points the gap there in that title race. And all the way from February, we have got Massimiliano Allegri finding a new club, and he has replaced Eddie Howe at Newcastle. We've also got Hansi Flick, who is at Chelsea. What happened to Jose? Jose, the special one, has been sacked again, and his third time at Stamford Bridge has gone completely bust. Oh my days, I didn't even see Jose getting sacked. Oh no, there it is. Okay, it's not really in chronological order, is it? I can't believe it. Jose's been sacked again. 3rd time's a charm, and now he's back on the free agency alongside Eddie Howe. Now we're starting to see some crazy deals go down. It's starting to catch fire here. Steve Cooper has been sacked in Denmark, and Jose has taken over. Brøndby has hired the Portuguese manager's services as Steve Cooper is off to St. Mirren's in the Scottish Premier League. Daniel Farke joined a South American team. He's now a free agent. Flick managed to get Chelsea into the top 4. What about Newcastle? Maybe I should have just checked in the league here, as yeah, Hansi Flick high pressing system at Chelsea has secured them Champions League football. Oh my god, this Frank Schmidt guy is still at Manchester United. How have they not signed like Thomas Frank? Like, what are they waiting for? What are the United board doing? Ineos need to wake up, because they can't be having this caretaker finish in 14th and his job security is just okay. Okay, that's the standard now at Manchester United. I should have just known. Who is Gustavo Costas as well? Like, how is Man City, of their stature, they haven't signed like a 5-star manager. They haven't signed the top tier manager. How can, a team like Manchester United hire a random caretaker, finish in 14th and be like, yeah, he's the man for the job. Yeah, we don't need to change anything here. It's just incompetency in its purest form. It looks like Bournemouth decided to pull the plug on Iraola. So another high profile manager, Premier League manager, getting the boot, and he's now on a free. We've got Daniel Farke. He's joining Jose Mourinho in Denmark, signing for OB, but it's Leonid Slutsky, the Russian mastermind, headed to Bournemouth. This is the only way I can track Real Madrid and Barca. If I take a look at the Champions League, where we've got Luis Enrique, the manager of the year, taking on Man City without Pep Guardiola, but Barcelona finished 2nd here in the Champions League group phase, and Real Madrid down in 13th, but still qualified out into the playoffs, into the round of 16. No, they didn't even get out the playoffs. They lost to a Simeone-led Atleti, and Amorim's Barca took an L to PSG, who eventually lost out to Manchester City. So whoever they replaced Pep with, it seems to be doing a wonderful job. There's no need for them to hire a big name manager. Their caretaker's doing just fine. Nevertheless, we still have some more unemployed free agent managers still waiting on a job offer, really. We've got the Atletico Madrid hot seat that needs to be taken after Simeone is resigning. And what other crazy manager moves are going to await us in season 4? As every new season we simulate, the crazier the deals get. I want to see the manager market be flipped on its head. I just want to see it completely go off, as we've got the confirmation of Diego Simeone becoming a free agent. He's run down his contract at the Wanda Metropolitano. And here we are to kickstart season 4. We have got Iraola signed by Atletico Madrid. And that's just like the perfect manager to take the hold of the throne over there. I think that is a gun signing. It's realistic in my book. He'd be a great replacement for Simeone, who hasn't found the club yet. He's still a free agent, but we're going to take a look as Eddie Howe has gone to Almeria, either in La Liga or the league below. I'm not sure where they currently are standing, but we'll have to take a look. Lecce got rid of their caretaker and signed up Filippo Inzaghi. So we're going to have to look and see where all these clubs are, if they're still in the top flight or not, but there has been quite a lot of movement over the summer. No, Lecce actually got relegated, so they hired the Serie B specialist Filippo Inzaghi, whose Vincent Kompany is actually very insecure right now. He might be on my suggestions tab. That's how bad his job's going over there, losing the league out terribly to Borussia Dortmund, so he might be next on the chopping block. But in terms of the big money transfer moves, we have got Ousmane Dembele to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yep, FC26 career mode, everyone, right there in a nutshell. A Ballon d'Or winner, still at the peak of his powers, 90 overall, 31. He has left PSG for Wolves. I mean, we're what, in like 2028 right now? No one can know the future, but that's just never happening. Anyway, we've got Josko Gvardiol. Pep has sold his former player he bought at Man City. He's now back to Brentford, where the female manager is still in charge. We've got Allegri selling Goncalo Inacio over to Liverpool. So yeah, he wouldn't have been happy doing that. And he has actually bought Fabio Silva, another Portuguese talent, to Newcastle. And so Maresca has had to sell his biggest defensive talent, Antonio Silva, to Burnley. But Allegri managed to find his defender replacement with the Ukrainian Zabarini, moving from PSG to Newcastle. Voltemada's been sold to Bournemouth. And Marmoush has had enough of being without Pep at City. He's off to Bournemouth. Is Maresca still in Portugal? He's still there at Benfica. Take those summer signings as you will, as Ousmane Dembele is now playing under Vitor Pereira, who has stayed safe and stayed afloat in the Premier League for 4 years now. All right, halfway through the season, let's see what managers have survived. Who hasn't lasted till Christmas? Hold on, before we do that, the manager of the year. It's been announced, and you guessed it, it is Luis Enrique again. He's gone back to back. Who knows? He might have won all 4 in a row, because I was the bloody smart one who didn't check it in the first couple seasons. But damn, he is loving life and set to be the PSG manager for the next 10 years plus. What I do like about the manager market, though, is that you do see it reported in the news feed. So yeah, right now you can see Lampard has been let go by Coventry City. You got the ESPN article. So that's been spoiled before we've even entered the manager transfer list. We've got AS Roma completing a managerial switch after agreeing a deal with Phillips. Lily Phillips, I don't know what Phillips that is. It's probably just a random caretaker. As Gasperini has gotten sacked, let's take a look at the manager market right now. We've got a lot of available jobs on offer. Oh wow, I've missed a bunch. Apparently in December it was crunch time. I should probably stop simming in December because there are so many moves that go on. I mean, it would be fixed if EA just let us see every single move, but no, there's a cap, as Rob Edwards has been sacked by Middlesbrough, Frank Lampard has been let go, as we saw Kieran McKenna. Ipswich have had enough and they have parted ways. As we take a look, Chris Wilder has left Sheffield United. We've got Watford sacking another manager like they always do. Alberto Gentile, I think he replaced Gasperini as a caretaker, and then Caleb Phillips came in. Again, no idea where they picked him from or found him, but he is now managing in the Italian capital. And let's just have a status report, because I'm sure I've missed something. How has Frank Schmidt got United up in second right now? That's the most improved manager I've ever seen, as Chelsea struggling with Hansi Flick down in 9th right now. Sunderland have a new caretaker, generic manager. Over in Serie A, Milan just are cruising with this random caretaker, Alejandro Orfila. Same deal goes with Roma, as Caleb Phillips has got them up in the top 4. And you don't see this in Italy often, but pretty much everyone's job is safe besides Pep Guardiola. He's insecure at Juventus. No, oh, Vincent Kompany has been sacked, and we've missed that. That must have been in December, as Jacob Niestrup, a random manager, has taken over. But the big Belgian has gone bust. He's no longer at the Allianz Arena. Niko Kovac has outlasted him. Unbelievable scenes going on here. It would be a power move if Manchester United got a hold of him, but right now they're flying with that random German in charge. Now, a cool little feature that I've noticed here is that you can actually see when the caretaker manager gets the permanent job. This guy, Juan Carlos Diaz, just a random generated Uruguayan guy, took over as the caretaker at Watford, but they were happy with his performances. They liked what he was doing, so they signed him on a permanent deal. As we can also see, Giampiero Gasperini hasn't wasted any time. He is now signed for Ipswich, as Kieran McKenna moves to Middlesbrough. That is your little mid-season report. We've also got Paul Heckingbottom back at Sheffield United. We've got Chris Wilder moving to Coventry, replacing Frank Lampard. Now we've hit the end of the season, so the manager market is dwindling down, but some major changes, like Tottenham finally getting rid of this random Albanian guy. He's become a free agent, but they have signed Gawawa Williams, a Welsh woman at the helm of Spurs. Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what the plan is there, but we now have 2 female managers managing in the Premier League. Something we've never seen before. Gabby, the Atletico Madrid legend, has been let go by Real Zaragoza. The former Sunderland manager, Regis Lebris, has moved on to South America, but now has become a free agent. So Sunderland now have a random manager in charge. Robin van Persie has found a club, Banfield. Another South American move as RVP jets off. We also have Fabian Hürzeler, who was sacked by Brighton and is now in the Championship at Preston North End. What? Such a big shake-up there to happen in May. Debris is now in Argentina, and Carlos Tevez, he's replaced him. He's now got the sack at Independiente. A lot of manager changes have gone down at the start of June. I don't even think we can see them all, but it's a lot of low-level teams. They're changing their managers up, so nothing major going on. Iraola at Atletico Ciantino Livramento for 78 million. We've got Jamie Gittins leaving Hansi Flick's Chelsea and joining Sunderland for 62 million. Where'd they get that money from? Oh my god. There's no way. There's no way. How did we miss that? How did that not pop up? Pep Guardiola. I've just clicked on the Belgian league randomly, and he's at Club Brugge. Oh, Juventus had enough. They couldn't handle not winning the title with the best manager in the world, or in recent times. But what is he doing? Who's replaced him at Juventus? Imagine getting sacked from your job and being replaced by a guy called Frick. How the mighty have fallen. When you know your goat's washed, as Pep has now started off in Belgium. He's moving leagues like anything. At least he's got them top of the table, but damn, over in the Premier League, Gustavo Costas, this caretaker guy, the random guy, has defeated Mikel Arteta, who now is very insecure. I was going to say, is Arteta going to stay like 10 years and build a legacy? But it looks like Arsenal might be getting rid of him, just like Liverpool might be getting rid of Arne Slot. Frank Schmidt is still somehow at United, but he's got them up into the top 4, so I think he solidified his job there. His chick manager, Gawawa Williams, has gotten Spurs up into 5th, and Hansi Flick, it's only just insecure. Allegri's very insecure, so the big name managers are walking a tightrope right now. Still no sign of Big Ange, as Gasperini will be managing in the Championship next season. Oh my god, Fabian Hürzeler is going to be managing in League 1, going from the Premier League to League 1 in one season is crazy. But yeah, Preston have been relegated. Luis Enrique, yeah, he might be that legacy manager, the one that's going to stay there until the end of career mode, probably a solid 10 years. I'm confident he is safe no matter what he does, as long as he keeps winning titles. No sign of Vincent Kompany anywhere, which is slightly concerning. Wow, another major move that slipped under the radar. Antonio Conte is at Boca Juniors. What? Bro, that manager transfers tab is robbing us of so many good stories, because if I didn't individually check the Argentinian league where both him and RVP are managing in, we would have no idea whatsoever. Vincent Kompany is at Estudiantes. That's where he is. I've got to find these managers. They're hiding. Scott Parker at Racing Club. What is this Argentinian first here? They've got Igor Tudor as well. They are just, oh my god, we've got Big Ange down here with Godoy Cruz. I didn't know all the managers, all the fired managers just come over here. We've got, that's the former Spurs manager, the Shehu guy. I don't know why they just all come to the Argentinian league. They're the ones hungry for new managers. Wilfred Nancy, I believe, was at Columbus Crew in the MLS too. So many managers are here. This is a hectic league. We got to check in on Argentina now from now on. So let's see how things progress, as we've gone half a decade into this, and still there are some managers out there that have kept their job, but it might come crumbling down sooner rather than later. Now, not much managerial movement happened over the summer. That's why you already see us in January right here. And I can confirm, I can concur, there was just not much going on, besides a few little names here and there, like Javier Mascherano. He's been let go of by Inter Miami. He now finds himself in Turkey at Zag. I don't know what team that is, what badge. I'm just going to assume it's Turkey. The former Juve manager, Igor Tudor, has now been fired in Argentina. All good things must come to an end, as he's left Tigres. He's now a free agent. We're going to check in and continue to scroll up, as we've got Dean Smith, the former Aston Villa manager, has left Charlotte. He's now a free agent again. And what team is that? I think it's a Chinese Super League team. The Croatian is just hopping continents, going from Europe to South America to Asia. He loves his travel. Now we're here at the halfway point of the season to check in on the Manager of the Year award, and we've got a new winner. It's that that random Costas guy from Man City. They hired him way back when Pep left a couple seasons ago. It looks like that Man City job has aged him to the core. He is aged to the bone. He's won the league with City, ended the Luis Enrique streak, and now we've got a brand new manager of the year here in 2030. Now we've entered that little peak period before the end of the season where managers just seem to be on the chopping block. Clubs aren't waiting till the summer to get a brand new manager. Unai Emery has been given the boot. He's left Villa Park and is now a free agent alongside Mikel Arteta. Hold on, I didn't realize he'd find a job that quickly. And at Darmstadt in Bundesliga 2, we're going to have to check in on where they are in the German footballing pyramid. And Arne Slot, he's lasted 5 seasons, but now Liverpool parting ways with the Dutch manager. And those are 3 major Premier League managers not calling it quits, but just being let go of. However, Massimiliano Allegri is back in the Premier League, not for Newcastle, this time for Nottingham Forest. So we'll see if he can get that right. But oh my days, we've had some big movements here. As Arsenal got rid of Arteta in February, he didn't find a new job. I mean, he was desperate. He joined Darmstadt 2 months later. How bad are Arsenal struggling right now? Yeah, they're lingering in 5th, 17 points off the title race. No wonder why Costas won the Manager of the Year award. He is far beyond everyone else in the Prem. Are Darmstadt even in the Bundesliga? No. He stooped down low, Arteta. Man, he's gone from Premier League, winning the Premier League, having a solid legacy at Arsenal, and now he's jumped to a mid-table 8th spot Bundesliga 2 side. Oh, brother Mikel, how the mighty have fallen. Yeah, Aston Villa, Liverpool, they just got in, and Arsenal, they just got in random generic managers. So we'll see if they end up taking over permanently. I think the only 2 managers that have stayed have been David Moyes at Everton. He's been relegated in the meantime, but it looks like Everton are facing another relegation here, and Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace. Also, Marco Silva will give him that, and Nuno has stayed put at West Ham. But I want to simulate until every single Premier League manager has been fired and we've seen a complete refresh of the league. Now we've officially hit the end of the season, and oh my goodness, we are witnessing some crazy shenanigans going on. Roberto De Zerbi has been sacked from Marseille, Casper Hulmeland has been let go of, and Adi Hutter sacked from Monaco. Some big moves being pulled off here on the 19th of May on the last day of the season. Clubs are just pulling the trigger as Arne Slot will replace De Zerbi at Marseille. Huijmeland has also found a job, I believe, in Argentina. Adi Hutter is in the Premier League. The Austrian mastermind has joined Brighton. And Inigo Perez, Bournemouth, have gone after another Spanish manager. Slutsky has been let go of, and Iraola didn't last long at Atletico Madrid either. That's a sad state of affairs. I thought he would have done a great job there, but unfortunately not, as John Carver has been let go of from Nottingham Forest. De Zerbi has joined Athletic Bilbao as Valverde has been sacked. And yeah, this is just the 2030 manager merry-go-round in a nutshell. What managers are bringing in the best players? We've got Hansi Flick dropping a cool £160 million on Kvaratskhelia to join Chelsea. I mean, Pep's not at Juve anymore, but that would have been a great signing. Pau Kubasi has joined the Italian Giants. Arsenal not only have let go of Arteta, but they've also sold Osimhen to Borussia Dortmund for $88 million. And Isaac has also gone back to his old stomping ground. BVB spending big. A sight to behold here, as we've also got Mason Greenwood joining Fiorentina. He left just like De Zerbi, and Victor Gyökeres. Both him and Pacho are off to Barcelona, which I still think Ruben Amorim is in charge of. And Dortmund, man, where'd they get all this money? They're signing players for fun. And it looks like the Austrian effect on Brighton is already happening, as they've signed Ibrahima Konate, Alphonso Davies, another team spending big. Well then, Real Madrid have won the Champions League, so I think Xabi Alonso is still at the helm. We've had some sacked managers find new homes here. John Carver's joined Cologne, and Ernesto Valverde has also joined the lower tiers of England here with Sheffield Wednesday picking up the Spaniard. What a move for them. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. We've still got Pep. He's actually struggling in Belgium, finishing 5th. Isn't too good over there. He might be getting the boot. His job security is insecure. That would be a awesome storyline. How's Arteta going over at Darmstadt? He ended up finishing 7th with the second tier club. Not enough to get the promotion, but he's still safe. Maybe he just wanted to get away from the top flight and European pressures and wanted to build up a club from the bottom. Who knows? And Enzo Maresca is just stable, continues to kill it over in Portugal with Benfica. He's finishing 1st. All right, we're going to start off season 6 with Iraola signing for FC Lorient over in France. So that's a big pull for them. I didn't expect him to go over there after dominating in Spain. We've got David Moyes finally let go of by Everton. This time, he is joining Oxford United. He hasn't become a free agent, but he's going to stoop down to the Championship after getting them relegated twice. Everton have replaced him with Slutsky, the Russian manager who was previously at Bournemouth, and he has now bitten the bullet, gotten them relegated twice. That was twice too many, but I want to time jump like 10 years into the future and then see what kind of results happen, like what managers are where, or will the career mode world just be filled with the generic caretaker managers that kind of dampen the experience? Let's give it a go here this season as we're now approaching 2031. I wanted to show you guys this at the start of the season, even though I thought it was impossible, but international manager firings do happen. I've been proven wrong here. I'll hold my hands up as Marco Rossi, the Italian in charge of Hungary, he's been sent packing by the national team, and they've ended up hiring Marco Silva, poaching him away from Fulham, potentially for the 2030 World Cup, as we've got Big Ange Postecoglou, moving from Argentina to the MLS, now coaching at Minnesota United. He's bouncing around everywhere. He wants to manage in every continent too, becoming a journeyman manager, but international manager changes are definitely happening, but they are very, very few and far between. Right now, in the middle of season 6, December 2030, we've got some compelling moves to go over as Antonio Conte at Boca Juniors has been given the sack. He became a free agent manager but found a job quickly, the Italian mastermind, moving to HSV Hamburg. We're gonna have to check in and see. I don't know if he would drop down to the second tier like Arteta, but here is the moment of truth, and oh my goodness, we've had both Mikel Arteta and Antonio Conte drop down to the second tier. At least Hamburg are, in the running to be promoted. They're top of the table right now, in first place. Meanwhile, Arteta down in 8th, trying to fight for a playoff spot, I guess. The Argentinian league just continues to provide here. Look at this. Robin van Persie top of the league with Banfield, fighting up top with Burak Yilmaz at Tigre and Vincent Kompany, all involved in a title race with their teams. And if you scroll all the way down, we've got Tom Cleverley at Platense and Gabi at Riestra, the former Sunderland manager at Independiente. This has just been a hotbed of all the managers to come here after they've been fired. You've got Hulmiland at Cordoba and Scott Parker at Aldosivi. We've seen so many managers come and go from this league. It's been crazy. There are more manager transfer merry-go-round rumors happening in the social media feed, where we see Gasperini has been let go by Ipswich Town, and again he goes back into the free agency. But coming with this news is the Manager of the Year award, and again it is Costas at Man City. I initially thought it was a random generated manager, but no, he's actually a real person. He's currently 62, managing in Argentina at Racing Club, and now somehow he's ended up at Man City and won back-to-back Manager of the Year awards. Some crazy work going on at the turn of the year as Vincenzo Italiano, we finally found his destination. He was out in Poland for the time being, but now is replacing Antonio Conte at Boca Juniors, so they've found themselves another Italian head coach. And there's your confirmation of Gasperini leaving Ipswich Town. And at the end of the season, like it always is, there's some major manager movement going on. You've got Milan's generic caretaker manager. He's out the door. Let's just take a look at the end of season 6 manager market movement. They've now got Mark Jackson to replace the Uruguayan head coach. He's now managing at AC Milan. The Englishman has somehow landed a job at the San Siro. We've got Hansi Flick replacing this Caleb Phillips American guy at Roma. So the German has finally got another big money move. He's now taken over, departing Chelsea. Another thing I wish you could do is also like look up managers. Again, I'm coming up with ideas on the spot, which how this manager market can improve in the future. Like I'd love to just search up Ruben Amorim and see where he is in the world, but because I can't check in on Spain, I can't check in on Barcelona, I've got no idea where he actually currently is. Let's see if Pep is still at Club Brugge. Yes, he is. He's very insecure though, so he might be on the move sometime soon. In the Premier League, we have got nearly a whole range of changes. Oliver Glasner is the only survivor in the top 10 right now. Death, taxes, and Luis Enrique never being fired from PSG in FC26 career mode, because he seems to be the only safe manager in the world. Unless he resigns, I mean, he'll stay there forever. Will we see Antonio Conte or Mikel Arteta be in the top flight. We've got Gasperini down here as well at Bochum. Arteta with Darmstadt down in 10th. Bochum and definitely Antonio Conte's Hamburg have a chance of promotion here. Filippo Inzaghi's been shipped out to the Chinese Super League, the Italian head coach now at Chengdu FC. Mario Frick, I mean, he proved the doubters wrong. He's now top of the table with Juventus. I don't know how he's pulled that off, but Hansi Flick getting Roma a top 4 spot. You've got Fabio Grosso. Despite not being fired from Sassuolo, he's up in 6th. That proves what sticking by a manager does in the long term. Now we've jumped ahead. Now we're 10 years into the future. From where we started, we're now in 2036, as you can see here with the 2036 UEFA Team of the Year. And the winner of the 2036 Manager of the Year is PSG's Digard. And 1, oh my god, Luis Enrique has either resigned or been sacked. And 2, that is like another manager that I believe he was managing like Le Havre or something in France. So he's taken over at PSG with his generic FIFA 18 manager face. But oh my days, the manager shakeup is going crazy. We've got Preston North End terminating Moyes' contract. So I have a feeling like the World Football Manager landscape has changed drastically in these couple years we've simulated ahead. First, we'll see the recent manager transfers here where David Moyes has found a new home in Austria. We've got Kevin Muscat, the Aussie, being let go of by Coventry City. We've also got Marco Baroni hired by Blackpool, the former Lazio manager. And now let me just check in on the Premier League, because I said by the time we hit the 10th season, I'd think that every single manager would have gotten sacked by now. And it looks like that is the case. We've got Oliver Glasner, very insecure over at Liverpool. However, there is a bunch of generic random managers. We've got an Aussie manager, Ufuk Talai, who started out in the A-League, now 10 years later is managing at Brighton. What a journey. Oh no, Eddie Howe's at Brentford, but yeah, he's at a different club. Every single manager and everyone has had a change. Allegri's left Nottingham Forest, being replaced by a woman manager, Veronica Paredes. And as we continue down, I think the only surviving manager is Vitor Pereira at Wolves. Who would have thought that? He, out of everyone, in 10 years, has survived in the managerial hot seat in the top flight. Nobody's lasted like 10 years or created like a huge dynasty. We've never failed to see manager changes are happening. Oh my god, you've got Christian Chivu, formerly of Inter, now managing at Charlton Athletic. So you've seen some big time managers take a leap down. You've got Fabio Grosso now at Hull City. And Nuno, oh, he's left West Ham too. I didn't realize Derby County's now taken over his services. Steve Cooper's back in England, here with Plymouth Argyle. Ernesto Valverde now at Monaco. We're looking at France now. And yeah, the Spaniard is now at the south of France. You've got Didier Degarde, the 2036 Manager of the Year. In the Bundesliga, Massimiliano Allegri is guiding Frankfurt to the top of the table. Who would have thought? As Gustavo Costa, who won all those titles with Man City, replaced Pep, is now at BVB. Unai Emery is here with Wolfsburg. They've appointed him, which just is crazy again, as he was sacked by Aston Villa ages ago. This guy, Frank Schmidt, who took control of Manchester United for so long, nearly got them relegated, but he is now here in the Bundesliga with Mainz. And now I believe Antonio Conte no longer managing Hamburg. So let's just see. You've got Fabian Hürzeler has been the replacement over at Como. Fabregas still nowhere to be seen. I've got no idea where he's ended up, as Hansi Flick is still consistently getting top 4 with Roma. They've shown faith in him alongside Juve with this Mario Frick guy. Anyways, Enzo Maresca's ended up in Milan. He's now at the San Siro. Maurizio Sarri survived at Lazio for 10 years, which is crazy. Ooh, Antonio Conte is now in the second tier in Italy. He is at Lecce, which, if you didn't know, played for Lecce in his playing days and then ended up managing Bari, their arch rivals, their nemesis, throughout his managerial career. So that would have been a little bit of a hostile return. Ooh, Major League Soccer has got some interesting appointments here, with Charlotte FC opting for Gennaro Gattuso at the helm. So he's left the Italian national team job. So what, we've seen like 2 international managers leave the hot seat over the course of like 10 years or so. So it's extremely rare, it seems, as Francesco Farioli has gone to New York to manage New York City FC. Otherwise, there was a period there where we had so many famous managers in this division division, but it's just not the case anymore 10 years later. I'm glad we caught it though. Vincent Kompany has tried his luck in the Chinese Super League, like Keith Andrews and of course Filippo Inzaghi. He is now managing at Shandong Taishan, and Igor Tudor is struggling down here. The former Juve coach getting used to life over in Asia as, what else can we check here? Bundesliga 2. Oh my god, he's still at Darmstadt and he's leading a sinking ship, Mikel, with proper haram ball. His job security is safe, but he is just guiding them down to the third tier, getting relegated. Darmstadt, what have you done? How is this guy safe? That's just utterly bizarre appointment, and I don't even know why he's still there, but Benfica, they don't have Enzo Maresca anymore. He did survive a while, though. Oh, whoa, hold on. Xabi Alonso. Are you kidding me? How did we not see this the entire time? Xabi Alonso, somewhere throughout this 10 years, got fired from Real Madrid, has ended up in Portugal, and if not for the second division not being in the game, he would be in the second tier of Portugal, getting relegated with CD Tontela. The Spanish mastermind going from invincibles in the Bundesliga, nearly winning an invincible treble, now leading Tondela to relegation. Who would have thought Gus Poyet would be at John Book Hyundai, and Pep Guardiola still managed to survive alongside Russell Martin at Anderlecht. Oh, we've also got the former Barcelona player Arda Turan, the now Turkish manager, has gone to Union SG over in Belgium too. So this league has gathered a fair few managers too. Thomas Frank, we finally found him after 10 years, sacked from Spurs ages ago. Diego Simeone at Cercle Bruges. What is going on? Is this the new Argentinian league where all of the high profile sackings have just come to congregate? Well, that has been the manager market in FC26 career mode and everything it has to offer. Obviously, we've seen some crazy sackings, some big manager swaps, national team managers getting fired, some weird manager of the year award winners. We've seen some big name managers just fall off the grid, have a huge fall off. The manager market in FC26, manager transfers definitely add a bit more spice and a few more storylines to a career mode save, and is a welcomed addition, but definitely needs some more improvements. I hope they flesh it out just a little bit more and take some feedback, take my advice. So if you guys went on to enjoy, make sure to drop the video a like, hit the description, and click the link if you want access to all the FC26 mods I use over the course of the game cycle. I'll keep updating the mod list and it's free for you to access. Let me know what you guys think of FC26 manager transfers down in the comments below. And as always, I've been your boy Sir BCHD. Have a great day, take care, and I'll see you lot on the very next video. Bye.